Hi guys, welcome to MoonChild Serendipity Tarot. So I'm back again with another reading on the one-on-one relationship readings for BTS members. We're gonna be using, well, as usual, these 4 decks here. Also, I have 4 tarot decks available today, but we're gonna pick which one depending on the unit that we have. Before I do the reading, the usual warnings. This is not about shipping. What am I going to say? I'm only looking at the connection, the spiritual connection between 2 people, 2 souls. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. I'm just gonna read everything that the cards gave me and try to get as much details as possible. But yeah, as far as the cards allow me to tell. Right, well, I just picked random unit from my jar, and now we're gonna see which one we do reading on today. JIN Jimin. So that JIN and Jimin. This is actually really interesting because if you notice, if you've been watching the series, of course, this is now the last, I believe this is now the last unit with Jimin that we have. I don't know why. I've been picking a lot of Jimin recently. Interesting. Okay. Which one are we gonna use? I want to use this one on Jin's perspective. This one on Jimin's perspective. And this one gonna be the overall energy of their connection, relationship. I'm just gonna move this aside a little bit. Right, I'm gonna be inserting also the spread explaining how this reading works. I can't talk today. Okay, so we're gonna start with the core energy, the foundation of the relationship, of the connection between Jin and Jimin. We're looking at past, current, and future energy. The first card is gonna be their past energy, so how their connection started, and how was it before. Okay, this is too many cards, let's see. So what are the past energies of Jin and Jimin connection? Right, we got 2 of Swords. 2 of Swords. You can see, to me, this 2 of Swords, okay, I get it. It's like they are very, in a way, they are very similar. They have a lot of similarities, but the way they portray or the way they present their energies outside, like to the outer world or to other people, is very different. Like inside, they are really similar to each other, but the way they carry their energy around seems like they are the opposite. I think that's why, when they first started to know each other, they kind of they spend a lot of time watching the other person, and comparing the other person to themselves, and they also I feel because this person is blindfolded, so he was kind of feeling everything with his heart or his intuition. So I feel like when the Jin and Jimin first got to know each other, yeah, they spent a lot of time observing the other person, judging the other person, and comparing themselves. But deep down inside, they know that they are very similar. they could feel that since the very beginning, and I feel like there could be some sort of conflict between them in the beginning as well, because as I say, they have very similar core energies, but the way they carry them, their energies is very different. So maybe there was some kind of conflict, like I think I'm doing right, and I'm doing my way of doing it is right, and your way of doing it is wrong. And that's kind of energy. It was like judging the other person a little bit at the beginning, but then also because the man is blindfolded, I feel like because they met when they were very young, right? Essentially, it feels like they were kind of they had this tunnel vision that their ways of doing these particular things was the definite ways of doing it. So there was no other way. So they believed that they are doing their things right. That's why they were kind of like judging the other person. But yeah, deep down inside, they know that they can get really connected to the other person because they're very similar, and they felt that since the beginning as well. And I felt like at first, because they was like skirting around each other, so it wasn't a very warm atmosphere around them. This course in like winter time as well and night time as well. So it took them a lot of time to warm up to each other. And now we're looking at the current energy, the current relationship of JIN and Jimin, and this is also the core of the readings, so like the foundation of this connection. JIN and Jimin, how is their current relationship with each other? Well, we'll take this one. Yep, this is very nice. We have 3 of chalices. So this is like, of course, working in a group. Now at this very moment, or the current energy of JIN and Jimin's relationship is that they have a lot of fun together, and like they work really well together. It's like the synchronicity. Synchronicity, is that the word? It's like because as I said, they have really similar energy, and now they come to understand that they do have this like a lot of similarities. So they kind of work that, and they get on really well with each other. They have a lot of fun with each other because we have 3 of chalices here. So I think there will be one other member. No, maybe not one particular member, but as a duo, like when JIN and Jimin are together, they don't have as much fun as they would do if there were one other member joining them. If that makes sense. Like if there are 3 people together, they would have more fun than just the 2 of them. I feel like because it would be kind of awkward if there was only JIN and Jimin together in a setting. Like if they are put together in one room, it would be a little bit awkward because, as I said, going back to the things that they have really similar energies, it's like, you know, the magnets. If the 2 magnets have if you put the same sides facing each other, it's kind of like pushing each other away. That's kind of energies because they are really similar. So it's hard for them to how do you say it? How to like integrate, or how to, you know, get together and like woven everything in the same. I can't express today, but it's because they're very similar. It's very hard for them to mix in. If there was just only 2 of them, they need a mediator. They need someone else, and I think usually it's Jungkook. Is very good at doing that. V also, and J-Hope also. When like 3 units like that, when there are 3 person like that. Oh, Namjoon is also good at it. I think Yoongi, because Yoongi is very he's very introvert, and he's like, I don't know, I feel like Yoongi, Jimin wouldn't make a fun, like they wouldn't be a loud and obnoxious combination, that's kind of thing. We're talking about like having fun and blah blah blah, because we have the 3 of chalices. It's like was like a party and like a celebration. And also it's the cups, dancing, like drinking. It reminds me of Jin Jimin, like the drinking partners. Oh, I miss those days when they were drinking together and like being silly. We don't see that often anymore, but it was fun. So yeah, this is now the current energy of Jin and Jimin's connection. It's just harmony, and it's just a fun energy, and I feel like they understand that they are very similar, and they can work that very well together now. They have a very solid foundation now, that they totally understand each other, and they totally understand the different ways of dealing with things, like each other's perspectives. And this is a really great card of like great friendship. It's awesome. And we'll look at the future possibility of Jin and Jimin's connection. Whoops! This is so lot of card. Oh, it's only 3. Okay, I think we'll take 3. Why not? So the future possibilities. I think this will be valid for about 6 months to 1 or 2 years, depends. But yeah, normally. Future possibility. Let's look at this. Ooh, have the Emperor. Okay. I have 10 of Swords. Okay. They all have the Wheel of Fortune, so we have 2 major arcana. This is interesting. The Emperor and the Wheel of Fortune and the 10 of Swords. Let's talk about the 10 of Swords. So most people like frown when they have 10 of Swords in their readings, but to me it's not necessarily a bad card. 10 of Swords, the way I look at 10 of Swords is always like the end of a journey. Like you've suffered enough. There's not much you can do with the situation anymore. Like you can only take it in, and the less you fight against all this, the less pain you have, to endure. But it's also like it's coming to an end. Like is this whatever suffering or pain is gonna finish soon. It's gonna like wrap up soon. But the future possibility. I feel like this doesn't say it. It doesn't talk about their connection. It doesn't talk about Jin and Jimin connection. But it talks about one of them. Like one of them is going through a transformation. One of them is going through like a really like a life-changing period that would change their perspective, and that would change the way they think. I don't know, it's a mental awakening, or it's a mental transformation, and it's quite painful. And I have the feeling this is talking about Jin. I don't know why I have that feeling, but I just have the feeling it is talking about Jin. He's probably going through a phase that he realized everything he has been trying to hide or trying to endure or trying to solve by himself, the way he has been dealing with things up until this point is no longer working for him anymore. It's no longer effective, and he will have to change the way he deals with things mentally from now on, from this, well, not from this point, but like he's getting to that phase. And I think it makes sense because I watched Break the Silence Persona the other day, and Jin was also talking about the transformation he's having with his mentality and like how he deals with things, how he deals with life as a celebrity. And I think he's slowly changing. He's slowly shredding he's slowly shredding this shelf or this mask or this persona that he has been building up all these years. The funny, the laughing, the silly image. I think he will slowly realize, I think he's already realizing it, that mask or that persona is no longer working for him, and I feel like breaking out of that persona is quite painful for him as well, because he will have to face a lot of confrontation or a lot of because thoughts is always like words that people speak or like opinions of people. So I feel like if Jin wants to break out of this shroud that he has been building all this year, he will have to face a lot of criticism, I think. But then we have the Emperor and the Wheel of Fortune. So I feel like the Emperor is Jimin in this case, because Jimin has gone through the similar process. I think he has been through the similar process of breaking his persona or breaking his mask, or breaking the old perspectives that he has been building for years to find something that works for him. So I feel like he has been through this period. He has been through this process. He known it, and he has the experience. He knows how it feels, and he would be able to share it with Jin and like share his own experience, his perspective, because they are very similar. So I feel like Jimin would be able to offer a lot of mental support for him in this Ten of Swords phase. And also we have the Wheel of Fortune. So it is something that cannot be avoided. It is something. It's like a karma circle. So it's building up over the years, and now it's time for it to break. And this is just the cycle of life. Things has to go on like this. It is just something that if Jin has to go through this Ten of Swords phase, it is something unavoidable, but it's also it's the Wheel of Fortune. So it's if he has done good, then good things will come to him. It's like a karmic circle. You get what you give, that kind of thing. But he always have the support of the Emperor. In this case, I strongly feel like it's Jimin, because I've got the Emperors for Jimin in I think 2 or 3 readings already so far in this series. So I think yes, that's what we get with the future energy of this connection. Now we'll get onto this. I'll be using this on Jin's perspectives. So how does Jin look at his connection with Jimin? How does Jin feel about his connection, his relationship with Jimin? Okay, oh, so we've got, this is the Queen of Cups. How does Jin feel about his relationship, his connection with Jimin? This is interesting. The Queen of Cups is someone who's very gentle, loving, caring. Did we have the Queen of Cups in J-Hope and Jimin's reading as well? Okay, as far as I remember. But this Queen of Cups is a little bit different. It's like she's looking at something far away and she's like dreaming about the stars. So I feel like in this connection, this relationship, the connection between Jin and Jimin to Jin is something very precious, but also at the same time is something that he can't get hold of. It's something that, I don't know, it's like he feels like he feels very comfortable in this connection, and he feels like this connection has a certain influence on himself, and it makes him feel better. It gives him a lot of good vibes and positive vibes. But at the same time, he can't get closer. Like he can't make this connection a part of him, if that makes sense. Like it's like how do I explain this? I don't know. I don't know if you know this feeling, but like, it's like you are in a connection with this person. And it feels really good, it feels really comfortable, it feels really positive, it feels nice, but at the same time you can't push it forward to like another. You can't get as close as you want to this person or to this connection. It just feels like it's somewhat outside of you, but you still have a lot of like influence from it. You can still feel it, but it's not in you. I don't know how to explain it, but that's how Jin feels about his connection with Jimin, his relationship with Jimin. I feel it makes sense because with this Two of Swords and the magnetic field between two magnets, right? They affect each other, but they can't get close to each other because they're very, very similar. They need a mediator between them. They always have each other's support, and of course with this Queen of Cups, they love each other a lot. But they can never be soulmates level, you know, because they're too similar. And it's like they will always be at a certain distance to the other person, but nonetheless they love each other and they support each other a lot. It's just there is just a magnetic field in between them that they won't, like, they can't get too close to each other, even if they want to. I don't know why, but it's like when you look at the star and you still get the light and the shining and the, you know, the calming feeling when you look at the stars, but you can't touch the stars, so the star can't be a part of you, if that makes sense. That's how Jin feels about his connection or his relationship with Jimin. And I never get that feelings with this card, but somehow it just came out. And then we'll look at Jin's role in his connection with Jimin, and I feel like they will pretty much have the same roles like in this connection because they are very similar. I feel like they will be like one is Jin, one is Jimin, and the middle one is the mediator that we need. So Jin's role in his connection with Jimin. Oops. Wait, this is way too many, but we'll take this one. So that the Ace of Swords. Okay, the Ace of Swords. Okay, so this Ace of Swords is someone who has been through this deadly forest, and he's now blowing this horn to, you know, bring up the sun, like calling out for the sun kind of thing. It's like he is announcing his victory, or that he has been out of the woods. So I feel like Jin's role in, maybe I was wrong about the similar role. So Jin's role in his connection with Jimin, I feel like he would be the talker. He would be the one who would speak up first, or he would be the one who initiate all the conversation. Even though I don't think they will have a lot of deep conversation or deep personal conversation together, not as often as they would with other members. But if they do, then it's really effective. Not effective. It will have a lot of effect or influence on their perspective and their thinkings, and it will be a very deep level. I feel like Jin would be the one who like initiates such conversations, or he would be the louder one, you know, like the one who, or if there is a dull moment between them or an awkward moment between them, Jin would use his sense of humor and his loud voice and his dad jokes to, you know, like break the ice and stuff like that. He is the one who used his voice and his words to like bring life into this connection, because like this one, the man is like drawing in the sun with his horn kind of thing. Yeah. See if I can get anything out of this. And like, I think because the man in this card, he has been fighting to get his way out of this deadly forest. So it's like Jin understands how different and how similar him and Jimin are. So he understands everything that Jimin has been through. Also, he knows that Jimin would understand everything that he has been through. That's why he chose to be the speaker. Like, he chose to use his words to, you know, soothe the situation, or to, you know, break the ice, or to make everything less awkward. Because he knows that Jimin wouldn't do the same. Like it would be hard for Jimin to do the same. So he take the initiative. And we're looking at how Jin sees Jimin in their connection. I didn't drop it. Okay, so we have two cards here, how Jin sees Jimin in their connection. We've got the Knight of Cups, very nice, and we have the Hierophant. Is that the Hierophant? It is the Hierophant. Okay, in reverse. Okay, I got the message now. So the way Jin looks at Jimin is like, he knows that Jimin is such a giver. He knows that Jimin is willing to give people everything that he has. To JIN, Jimin is this Knight of Cups, and he would offer his love to everyone that needs it. Even if people don't need it, he would still offer his love and his caring, his warmth and comfort. Sometimes in Jin's eyes, Jimin is too big of a people pleaser. Like he would sacrifice himself to make people feel better or to make people feel happy. People that he treasures, people around him. Sometimes he's too nice to people. That's how Jin sees it. Because going back to like how they are very similar. Sometimes Jin thinks that the way Jimin give himself to people is too much. That is, sometimes he would forget about himself because he was too busy giving to other people. But then at the same time, Jin really admires Jimin in that sense because Jimin's willing to give people so. Like Jimin gives people so willingly and so unrequitedly. That's what Jin really admires about Jimin. And also, okay, that makes sense. And also, I feel like with this, Jimin would be the first one who, like, break out of this truth sorts stage. Like Jimin would be the first one among the two of them to like reach out a hand or like to initiate the connection between him and Jin. And then because Jimin was the one who started it, so Jin chose to be the one who maintains it, to like bring light into it. That makes sense. But and also at the same time, Jin knows very well that on the surface, Jimin's very giving to other not on the surface, but truly, Jimin is a giver. He gives a lot to people, but at the same time, he gives nothing of himself away. Like, or he's very selective with the person that he shared his true colors or his true self with. Jimin. The way Jin looks at Jimin is that Jimin is someone who is very he's very kept to himself, very secretive, and he's very choosy in terms of who he would share his like inner core, or to share his true feelings, his true thoughts with. There's only a couple of people that Jimin really trusts, and he would give his everything, even his like all of his persona kind of thing. And some of Jin's feel like he's not one of these two person. Like Jimin wouldn't share everything with Jin, and Jin knows that. And I think because it also makes sense with what I said about the Queen of Cups. And Three of Chalices, like it makes sense in their connections if it goes that way, right? So yeah, Jin knows, he understands Jimin really well, and I feel like at this point they all understand each other very well, and they are content with their stage, like the current stage of their connections. Now we're looking at Jimin's perspective. So how does Jimin see his connection with Jin? Okay, we've got the Tower. It seems to have quite many major arcana today. So, okay, the Tower. This is interesting. The Tower is a moment or something, a major event that happened and shatter our old beliefs or our old the old things that doesn't serve us anymore. So going back to what I said about the two swords, or like the fact that they are very similar, and they were at the first stage of their connection, there was like kind of judging the other person. But with this Tower moment, how Jimin sees his relationship with Jin, it's like it's something he didn't expect to happen, but it has had a major influence or effect on his perspectives. It's like he learned a lot from Jin. He learned a lot from their connection. Jimin now sees totally different perspectives because he has learned that from Jin. Now he sees maybe he can shed some of his old beliefs and old doings that no longer serves him anymore, and he can adopt some of those things from Jin to replace the things that he has shed. It's something totally unexpected. I feel like at the first, Jimin would not think that he can befriend or he can be this close to someone like Jin, because they're very different outside. Like the persona that they created at first were very different. There seems to be clashing and against each other as well. But that was just the outer shelf, the outer energy. The core of them were very similar. I've said this so many times, but I feel like with this Tower moment, Jimin has realized that, and this connection between him and Jin has helped him to grow a lot, to grow a new perspective. And we'll look at Jimin's role in his connection with Jin. Okay, we've got 2 cards. Cool. Okay, we've got Father of Cups, so that's the King of Cups. Interesting, we've got King of Cups and Queen of Cups, and also the Knight of Cups. And we've got the 8 of Cups. Jimin's role in these connections. With the Father of Cups, the Father of Cups is okay. So now if we compare Jin's role and Jimin's role, but like Jin will be the one who like breathe life into this relationship. As I said, he uses his voice to break the awkward moments, but Jimin is the one who uses his actions, because Father of Cups is someone who's very, very tender, someone who's very sensitive, someone who's very caring and nurturing, and he does that very silently as well. Like he used his like small gestures or small acts, but it transcends a lot of love and a lot of care, and it's just there is this calming and very protective energy about the Father of Swords. So I feel like to Jin, Jimin cares about him a lot, but he doesn't say, like they don't say to each other's face that, hey, I care about you a lot, but he uses a lot of small actions, and he's just very like, he cares about Jin and their connections a lot too. Yeah, and he's kind of like very protective. And let's talk about this 8 of Swords. 8 of Cups. So the Eight of Cups is normally the Eight of Cups talked about like lost, and somehow like depression, sadness, but because we have the Father of Swords next to it, so it's like Jimin's role in this relationship with Jimin is like he's the healer. He heals both himself and Jin from whatever it is that they've lost. From I don't know. I feel like Jimin is the one who is able to draw the positivity of their connections and use that to heal themselves from the Tower moment, or even from the Ten of Swords that is about to come. He can do that with a lot of care, a lot of love, with his sensitiveness and with his intuition and his understanding of Jin and of their connection. So it's like if Jin is the one who walking the stage, announcing their connection, then Jimin is the one who is walking backstage, like building it up, or like watering the flower. That's kind of role. And then finally, for the final tarot card, we looking at how Jimin sees Jin in their connection. There's a hair. How Jimin sees Jin in their connection. Okay. We have 5 of Wands. How Jimin sees Jin. This is a lot of conflict. Sometimes it could talk about inner conflicts, personal conflicts, but for some reason, with this card and this spread, this reading, I'm hearing it's like someone who doesn't say what he thinks, and also someone who doesn't act how he feels like. It's like so the way Jimin looked at Jin is like Jin is someone who has a lot of conflict between himself. Like he wants to do one thing, or he wants to act a certain way, but for some reason he would do something different. He would say something different. It's not about lying or pretending or like putting on an act. It's about overcoming himself, overcoming the inner conflicts that he has. Maybe it has something to do with the Ten of Swords that I talked about before as well. Like Jimin would understand where Jin's coming from with this 5 of Wands. It's like, for example, Jimin knows that Jin wants to slowly break out of his old persona, but he's afraid of getting stabbed by one of the swords, so he would act differently according to his plans, if that makes sense. It's not about pretending or lying or anything. It's all about the courage to act out what you're thinking, or to act out according to how you feel or how you want to portray yourself. And like when I look at Jin, somehow I get the same feeling as well. Like he said that he only wanted to show fans a happy Jin, like the happy image of him, and he tried to do that even though he felt sad or he felt broken inside. He would still try to put on the smiley face for the fan, because he only wants the fan to feel positive. And Jimin sees that, and it doesn't sit right with Jimin. But Jimin can't, he can't come into Jin and say, hey, you have to change this. But that is the process that Jin has to learn himself. But then if we look again at the Ten of Swords and the Emperor and the Wheel of Fortune, then Jimin would always be there, like being the subtle support behind Jin's, and like, you know, give him the mental support to go through this stage and to, you know, get out of this 5 of Wands situation, or 5 of Wands state of mind. See, I'm tongue-tied. Yep, I think that's all the tarot cards that we will have today. Let's draw some oracle cards to have maybe some clarification or some more details. So we're looking at the energy, the connections between Jin and Jimin. Got new full moon Virgo. You are good enough. I feel like this speaks to both of them. They are good enough in their own way. There is no right or wrong of portraying their energies outside. They have very similar energy, but they choose to act it out differently, and it's okay. It's fine. It's totally perfect. Like, they are good enough. It's okay to do it their way. There's no right or wrong in doing that. And also, I feel like they are really good at comforting each other, and they really knows how to assure the other person that they are good enough. I want to say something a bit about this Tower moment and this "you are good enough" card. It's like, when this Tower moment happened in the relationship, it's a striking realization. And maybe before this moment happened, both of them didn't feel like they both felt like they were lacking or something. But then this happened, and then they kind of like slowly realizing that the ways they do the ways that they are doing things are their own ways, and that it is their own personality, and that alone will be good enough to be themselves, if that makes sense. Right, let's have a card from this deck. It didn't drop. Wait. Oh. Nice. It's listen with your heart. You're listening but need to hear with a loving heart. So it's all about like talking to each other, hearing each other out, giving support, care about each other. And I feel like it fits in really well with the overall theme of this reading. And did I say something about them not really like sharing their deepest emotions with each other? I feel like maybe they could learn to do that, like slowly do that a little bit more. It's not, I feel it's not gonna get to really deep level, but it can improve, because they are both very good listener. The things they need to do is just open up and talk to each other. But even without that, we have 2 number 1 here. But even without that, their current energy is already very good. With a mediator. I've got 2 cards, I think. The crumbling, what are you clinging on to? Oh god, this is the energy of the Tower. And then we are, you are already doing it. Stop overthinking, keep facing your true north. This also goes with like, you are good enough. It's the kind of same, similar energy. The crumbling, what are you clinging on to? Like, it's calling for them to let go of things that no longer serve them anymore, and like to build the solid foundation from the core, from what it is that they really treasure, and what it is that they really love and they really feel true to. And then like you are already doing it. Like I feel like this speaks about their spiritual awakening journey, or their mental development journey, their personal development. They are already doing it, and they probably like help each other to do it as well, with like you are good enough, and with everything that I've said before, like the Wheel of Fortune, the Hierophant. It just ties in really well in this reading. They are growing. And then I think the last card we have will be from this deck. Just one last affirmation about this connection between JIN and Jimin. Oh, and I just realized I placed these next to each other. They both number 1. And this is the one who's speaking. This is the one who's listening. So like to me it's kind of like the same, not like the same, but like they're using the same tools, like with the horn and the seashell. I know they are not the same material, but give me the same vibe of like something very natural, or something very how do you say it? Something very instinctive. So I feel like if one talks, then the other would listen. Okay, we're gonna take. Oh, we have 3 cards. Okay, we'll take all 3 then. They're so beautiful. When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. I love this card. Look at the colors. I feel like this speaks to both of them. They need to focus on their inner light. Like I feel like Jimin has been through this process, as what I said from the Ten of Swords and the Emperor. He has realized what is that drives him, the core energy of him doing all this. And Jin is stepping into this process, so he would need to learn to focus on himself and his inner light. I felt like, I don't know, because the ways I felt about Jin up to this point is like he has a very clear line between Kim Seok-jin and Jin. He separates very clearly his personal life and his professional life, but that is getting harder for him to maintain the balance between the 2 personas, because they are becoming their work. They are their work. They are part of what they want to express, or they want to deliver to the world. So separating yourself, himself, and his personal, his professional self is no longer working. And before he focused on his Seok-jin persona and his Jin persona, he focused on both, and he used to separate and used to direct his intentions differently between these 2 personas, but that is no longer working for him. It's getting hard for him to do that. So he has to like readjust and refocus and maybe find different ways to do to maintain this crazy roller coaster that he's on. Maybe he doesn't have to separate it all. He just have to rearrange his priorities and rearrange his perspectives a little bit. But the essential, the most important things is that how he feels. That is the inner light, and what drives him, what makes him happy, what makes him continue to to go on this journey with BTS and with fans and with his mission of changing the world. Then we have, my faith has the power to turn trauma into healing, conflict into growth, and fear into love. This is so beautiful. When we talk about conflicts, it is the 5 of Wands that we have. Healing is the power of the Father of Cups, the Queen of Cups. And they're just like growing together, and it's just a really nice feeling. So this connection is very important to both of them, and this connection is very healing, very contributing to their development. Very, it's like laying the foundation for their personal development, and it's just this exclusive and healing and warm. This is the warm aura surrounding this relationship. There is no like. There is nothing sharp or nothing. It's just a very soft energy. That's what I felt. There's nothing intense about it, even though we have the Tower, but it's not about the relationship. The relationship itself is very soft. The Tower is just what comes with it. And then last one we have, I always trust the direction of the universe and know I am being guided. And we have the dragonfly spirit. I feel like it speaks for itself. I always trust the direction of the universe and know I'm being guided. I feel like both JIN, Jimin, I'm not really sure about JIN, but Jimin, to me, he's very intuitive and like he's a spiritual believer as well. Like from his Serendipity song, that I can already feel that. So I feel like if ever one of them lost their trust along the way, they can always like reassure each other, and like, I don't know, they kind of know that that they have to continue, and they have each other, and they are like, I don't know, there is just an otherworldly feeling about this card and this connection. Well, with BTS connection in general, it always gives me this kind of feeling. But yeah, I think that's all that I have for the connection between JIN and Jimin. There's a lot of things going on, so I don't feel like I will be able to recap it in a very short sentence. But overall, it gives me a lot of soft auras and a lot of soft feeling, and like that's it. I don't know what to say anymore. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I really did enjoy doing it. And you can check out other readings on my channels over here. And if you enjoyed the readings, please consider to subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in the next reading. Bye!